Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
Hello.
buddy.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Doing great. Nice to hear from you, Corey. And Amen, I don't think we've had the pleasure of speaking yet. Really happy you were able to join.
Pleasure to meet you, brother. Guys, I just wanted to give you a heads up. We're live now. I'm literally about 10 kilometers away from a war zone, so hopefully nothing wild happens tonight. But
Oh my.
yeah, I'm inside in Lebanon. This is about 40 kilometers south of Beirut, so like the first city in South Lebanon. And today might be a very spicy night in Lebanon. There's evacuation orders from the south. The whole thing in the Middle East just got out of control. And here we are, we're talking AI, we're talking crypto, we're talking building, right? We build for a better world, right? Like even these conditions, we always look for a better future. So pleasure to meet you. Very excited to have this conversation with you, gentlemen.
Likewise, we're really happy you could make it. You made the time for us. Not to get too derailed, but obviously a lot of things going on in the world. If there's anything you want to share about it, let the audience know. Please do, because all we know is what we see on Twitter.
It is a wild world. And I've lived through many wars in the Middle East and Lebanon, but this one is a very different one. The stakes, the how heavy it is, the effects that it did on people, the scale of it. This is something that we haven't seen. It's when somebody in the Middle East says this is crazy, it must be something wild, right? But the one thing that everyone has is hope for a better future. I think this region in the world deserves to have peace finally after years. I think it's the right time right now for people to move forward and demand peace. And this is the only way forward. There's conflict is not something that we want to have in anyone's country. War is horrible, devastating. But what's the alternative? Peace. We build economies together. We build a new world that is based on law, respecting each other. And this can be done. And this can be done. It's wild to think that in 2026, things like this can happen. Yeah, well, hopefully we can share more today about this whole journey. And I can share on behalf of many founders in the region. It's part of your journey to build during this time, right? It's part of finding solutions to existing problems, right? And so that you can make your the people of the community you live in better by providing these tools. Very interesting conversation ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Just I like what you said too. This is part of the creation journey as well. It's like all these founders, it's for you, even just creating amidst of the destruction is poetic, if you will.
Yeah, and I don't want to plug it, but one Lebanese founder, very famous founder, he's the guy behind Anghami. All over to X, it was like someone built this dashboard, right? Like war in real time. This guy is a Lebanese guy, founder of Anghami, who hacked basically a hackathon over a weekend. He wanted to build a tool for himself so that he can figure out better what's going on in the world in real time. He built this tool instantly, 2 million, 3 million users. Wild, like out of things that people go through, and the problem of finding the right information. You were just saying, like everything we see on Twitter. He built an awesome tool, pulls up data using AI from all different sources, try to put a balanced, right picture as it is with no filter. Yeah.
I think I might have seen some screenshots of it going viral. That was maybe like a few days ago, right?
Yeah, it's Eli Habib, and everyone was like saying someone, so it became a meme that like this guy's name is someone, right? Instead of just hey, this guy built this tool, right? But yeah, this just tells you like out of if you want to build something interesting, even in times like this, you'll find a reason why you would want to build it. And here you go, awesome tool.
Wow. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, thanks so much for sharing a little bit about your story. I'm gonna quickly just go over what the idea is for this space, the conversation we're gonna have, but from there we'll just take it wherever the wind takes us. Just a quick intro. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for joining, Corey, Eamon. and everyone in the audience. So this is like an exploratory call or a space where we're here to learn about 3VO as well as the future that they're building. So it's what they're building is, from what I understand, is 3VO is one of the more like ambitious attempts that we've seen to bundle things. So AI taking over operations, tokens, a part of incentives or loyalty programs, from what I understand, and humans focusing on their direction and identity on the blockchain. Is there anything else that you guys would add to that?
I can specify it with two value propositions, right?
Perfect.
Let's think about it as an ecosystem where from the value that you generate, right, as a person, so that you can earn more while doing less. Earning more means better monetization and everything that's revolved around that. And less means automation, meaning that you get access to, what only a couple of years ago required a massive staff by automating the work with AI agents that act and feel like humans. So very straightforward. It's a big ecosystem. This is only possible today because we have great tools like AI where we can have this multiplier effect in development, right? Where a handful of engineers can go in and build what required thousands of engineers only a couple of years ago. So attempting wild things like Trivo today becomes possible only because of AI and only because we fully adapted AI at every part of the cycle. So we want to bring what we learned building Trivo, building such an ecosystem, and give these tools, democratize them for your average person, right? So that these tools are not only for the rich and the wealthy, but they became accessible to anyone who's an entrepreneur, small business, a creator of value that likes to go to monetize more out of what he's putting on the table while enjoying life because there's something called AI. Trivo in a nutshell.
Awesome. That makes sense. But in order to paint a bit of a bigger picture, what were you doing before 3VO that made you realize this is something that the world needed?
Okay, just briefly how Thrive started as an idea. It started back when I think the war in Ukraine started 2022, when at the same time in the West there was a lot of issues with deplatforming, right? So the idea was crypto today provides an international, let's put it this way, environment, right, where you can go and transact directly with no barriers, instantly send regardless what the number is, verified on the blockchain, transparent, right? So the idea was back then, as people who built product their whole lives, can we build a better product at every single level in the value proposition, in the ideology behind it, in the reason behind it, with tools that are cutting edge and bring them to the masses via a social platform. That was the initial idea of how Trivo started. Before Trivo, for the past decade, I've been building product, everything from wallets, copy trading, cloud mining, e-commerce. Then 2021, I was a co-founder of a wallet project. Amazing results, was a learning experience. 2022, we had three cohorts at Great Nova Campus for Entrepreneurs, and that's where the core team started to gather. I had a course in blockchain business development where the role was to deliver the experience of how we build a project from zero, literally, to 29x, $4.5 million of funding, 60,000 users, over 30,000 holders, exactly, right, step by step, how we were able to do that. And that was the course. We had a lot of awesome entrepreneurs. Two projects came out of Trivo, one out of this cohort. Trivo is one, and another one that was listed in 2024 in AI. So Trivo came in, started as an initiative with people who are fanatics about crypto. They love crypto. They love AI, super talented people. And we started first just experimenting. Is this even feasible and possible? And today I can share with you that we have a fully working ecosystem that stretches out from the profiles, wallets, a full app engine, we call it PageScore, a full set of tools that we brought in and usable by the average person. And we can talk later on what our goals are, but Thrivo has came in from a very kind of broad vision of how the world would look like with AI, with Web3 in 5 years to today a reality. Now, the next step is actually testing this thesis in practice by deploying Thrivo products in target markets.
It's quite a big undertaking, a lot there. I also wanted to ask Corey from his angle. Corey, because you have a strong tech and consulting background, from what I understand. What attracted you to Thrivo as well?
Oh man, many things. One team. I love the team to start with, but the idea of crypto is new and it's certainly the future. I'm at least old enough to remember when email was coming out, and I remember my grandma, she'd be like, I'm never sending electronic mail, that's ridiculous. And then she gets into it, and all the people who are like, oh, the internet will never succeed. And so we're at that precipice, and for all the reasons and there's many that I dislike crypto, I also really do believe it is a tool and it is the future, whether I like it or not. And trying to find somewhere to put my time and effort, because I've done a lot of different things in my life, that can actually benefit people, seemed like a good choice. So when I learned about Thrivo and what they were trying to do and enabling anyone, right, to transact, to create value, to make money from that, whether it's, we commonly used to say, whatever, it's a guy selling bananas or a smaller brick and mortar, maybe that wants to expand, right? Helping them grow and use the tools of blockchain and AI. I think I'm passionate about that, right? I've learned and I've done some corporate engineering where passion is not really important. You're just a cog in a machine, right? To be able to join up with the team and try to really do something that can impact and change people's lives around the world, not just in my small little bubble, was really attractive for me. So it's been a journey and I'm looking forward to the road ahead. But yeah, that's why I got involved.
Awesome, thanks. So two things to say. If anyone in the audience has any questions or wants to hop up, contribute, please request to speak. It's everyone's welcome. Great. So then there's just one thing that's been on my mind. Why is it called Thrivo? Like, where is the name coming from?
Web3 revolution or evolution, depending on how you look at it. So it's an evolution, okay. By the way. Yeah, it's an evolution the way we present it, right? Like we're bringing basically advanced tools to an experience that people are familiar with, which is Web2. So it is the next step in evolution, but it is a revolution because it's a revolution in the way people make money. Direct monetization, building communities, providing the value on customizable templates. It is a revolutionary thing. Now all of these tools suddenly become accessible. You don't need to learn them. They are ready-made apps. You can customize the way that you want and put them in your profile. Boom, no more need for your own website, no more need for your own app, no more need to learn advanced AI tools. Ready for you, select what you need so that you can deliver your value. Again, going back to the build your community, monetize more, and do less because you have all of these awesome tools that you can automate. Think intelligent chatbot. This is your AI co-founder, by the way, that knows literally everything that you do. You teach it, it follows you, and you need it to talk to somebody else. It's your AI co-founder. He knows just as much as you do about your company, your business, if not more. So this is kind of where the approach is with Thrivo.
Very cool. And the way you present that, I actually haven't gone too deep into it. Is it like you just sign in and on your website and start creating this assistant, or what does that flow look like?
So easy right now. We had multiple products, several iterations with our community. At some point in December, we looked at our user count and there was 120,000 registrations. But they're doing multiple things, a lot of test cases that we did in crypto. But today, the way we are looking at Thrivo with the current models that are in production, you sign in directly, phone number, email, or social accounts. You create a Thrivo ID. You can attach different wallets that you have instantly. You create your profile the same way you create your social profile. Onboarding is less than 4 steps. You can select apps that you need instead of your tabs. So, for example, you might be a retail store. You would want to have one tab as your Shopify integration, another tab as your loyalty point program. A third one might be a quest. However, somebody who's an influencer might want to have his apps in the tabs, right, as their videos. They might want to have a wish list so that people can go and donate towards different things that they want to fundraise for or different causes, right? A monetization tool. They can have, for example, an AI assistant that would go and schedule and reply to their fans, right? So the experience is very customizable and scalable. And it was designed so that you select the tools that matter most to you in your workflow. And you pay per tool. So this makes it affordable, especially when you bundle them together, way cheaper than going and spending 200, 150, 30 on multiple different platforms. You can get the same result, coherent, integrated, same databases, all the data for this small amount, which is today, I think it's set at $30 per month.
Very good. I remember when I talked to Corey before this call, we had a little bit of a intro session. He said you guys have gone through like many different iterations, and you just said as well that when you were reflecting, reviewing the users, the use cases and things, how people were using it. I'm curious, like, what is the journey you guys have taken? Where did it start? What were you initially building versus what it is today? Are there any like critical points and changes that you made?
We started with a basic wallet back in early 2024. Basic DeFi wallet, people can go in, register an account, and they have a DeFi wallet. Literally, they create a DeFi wallet, seed phrase, the whole thing. That was the very basis that we built on. Then we released Trivo Social, which added a full social media capability, adding friends, commenting, liking, wall. This was the next step in building this Trivo ID. Then, as crypto was moving forward, we wanted to experiment as well for onboarding with Telegram mini apps. So we did our Trivogram, a mini app. Inside of it, there was several components of the Trivo ecosystem that were demonstrated. The AI capability, both with generating characters, generating images, answering questions, and the questing function, which is basically a tool that would allow people to earn crypto by completing different social tasks, right? And they had the social, we had the wallet component as well. This got us to about 120,000 since September. Now, as you have seen, crypto today is not crypto that was 3 months ago, not even 2 months ago. AI today is not what AI used to be 3 months ago. The market itself is not what it used to be. So we moved into the shift from, okay, we have experimented, we have a pretty mature infrastructure, pretty good back end. We built our SDK. We did the switch to agents at the very right time. So we pride ourselves that we're one of the first startups that understood this shift is imminent and literally went from a team of 23 plus into 6 with 4x productivity.
Whoa.
This was where the journey, and at some point in January, we reached this culmination point where we built something super awesome. Now, how do we target it? Now, we had plans to test starting this month. The product is ready. Unfortunately, war started to start with loyalty for small businesses in developing countries like Lebanon. Unfortunately, war started where we're going to do the same experiment in the UAE. So hopefully this works out. Literally something called Trivo Club, which is the functionality of the loyalty point system, the questing system, and the AI chatbot, the smart chatbot that can learn about your business and literally act anything from customer support all the way to sales and so on. You asked a very important question. How do you train it from the journey? You can literally train it by going through a questionnaire or by uploading a PDF telling your story. So imagine you have somebody tells you, tell me your story in like a page or in 50 pages, and you can decide what you want to give to this chatbot so that it learns. As you have more people interacting with the platform, obviously it will learn from both who your customers are, what do they want, and at the same time your workflow on the app. As it moves forward, obviously we're interested to get more information by doing integrations, maybe in the POS, maybe with the accounts on other social platforms. But the goal here is to bring powerful tools, super easy as you would do on social, gamified for the community, because we live in a generation, or it's not just Gen Z, it's even millennials that are into this gamified culture. So we can bring this gamified culture where everything is super easy. You don't need to go and learn something new. People are lazy. It's a short attention span era in humanity. We
Yeah.
have to instantly be able to use this product and basically get the benefits from it.
Yeah, I like the onboarding process there. Makes sense. I think we just got someone coming up here. Max, please feel free to speak anytime.
Yeah, guys. Hey, thank you for this conversation. And also appreciate Corey that he said that crypto is just a great technology that will be in our future. And I'm super agree with this. I still have one question about the Evo. For example, which product can I build using Evo? Like, how am I supposed to use it? You said that I can have a conversation with a bot. I can upload some data about my company, about my background, or et cetera, and he can somehow use it. But I still don't understand what is the way Evo uses this data. What is the way Evo uses analytics or something like? What is the workflow?
So let me give you an example. Yeah, with Revo Globe, this is a product that is ready for the market. Revo Globe is a very simple tool where if you have a small business where you can create a loyalty program. So how does it look like? You go in and register. You have two choices to register: either register as a personal account or register as a business account. Personal is free, business is paid. Business, you get access to several apps. Each tab in your profile, it's a profile. Each tab is an app. You can select the apps that you need from the app selection. And why I say loyalty, there is one app called Loyalty, where instantly, if I'm a customer of yours, I go to the store, I buy $100 worth. The cashier tells me, what's your phone number? He opens his panel on Trevo and issues to this phone number 100 points. I get as a user, as a customer, 100 points. I go to the profile of the business. I see the offers where can I spend these points, so I can spend them on getting exclusives, offers, and gifts. Exclusives means exclusive items, offers means discounts, and gifts, basically gifts where you can redeem your points for gifts. Now, this is a case for a small business. It can be retail, it can be a pizza shop, it can be a hamburger joint. Now, where does agents, for example, fit in? So one of these apps, the same as Loyalty, the same as Quest, is called Chatbot. Internally, there's a joke, we call it Banana Bot. So what does it do? So I am a customer, I have a question to the business, or I want to do a reservation, or I want to know more about a product. Regardless of what time, date of the day, I can go to that tab that is called chatbot, or whatever you want to call it. You can customize the name, right? And instantly ask any question or request I want on that one tab on the profile of the business. How do I train it? Well,
Okay, I see. So it's like I built the product on Evo, and the product on Evo has several tabs, several features. Like one of them is a loyalty program, one of them is chatbot, and I'm responsible for distribution here.
You are building a profile, my brother. Just a profile, as simple as a social profile.
Okay.
But
Okay.
instead of having, for example, all your profile is the same for everyone, which is photos or posts or whatever, you select what you want to have, right? So you want to have, right? You have a set of tabs. You have events, you have photos, you have posts, you have wall, you have community chat, you have loyalty, you have AI chatbot, you have AI image generator. I'll give you an example, like where would an AI image generator fit in? You sell clothing, right? One tab, you have all of the items. Another tab is basically your custom fitting room. So you go into that tab, it will ask you to upload your picture or pull it out from your profile on Trivo. And instantly you can try on the clothing, the different clothing items directly. It will understand your size. It will understand your body structure, and it will put this clothing directly on the image that you have provided. So this way, people can go and measure, and you would negate the fact that a lot of people online, especially in clothing, they like to see how they would look at. It's a great marketing tool, right? Because you can see, you can sell the customer how he would look in that clothing. Same thing with the haircut, right? You go to a barber. So we build these tools so that they are powerful, customizable, and easy. Powerful, it means that they can deliver powerful results. I imagine you're going buying, oh, the store offers AI fitting. You can go, the picture, boom, look at yourself, how you look, you like it. The picture have already sold you. He makes more money, right? Now, if he wants to go and build a custom solution, this is going to cost him thousands of dollars. Even today, if he knows somebody with AI, it's going to cost him hundreds of dollars. Where we are providing it basically at a base subscription plus whatever you charge for extra, you want for extra.
Okay. Thank you. I think now I understand. So it's basically a tool for small, medium business for SMBs, right?
Yeah, small, medium businesses, solo entrepreneurs, content creators that are turning into brands, like they want to do something more than content creating and monetize from their community, and professionals, even professionals. Think my dentist the other day, we're good friends. He was telling me about how he wants to use Trivo. He was saying, hey, I can give you, if you can provide me with the badges. So every time somebody comes in, clean teeth, I can give him these badges. Loyalty, you come in and you come in only to me. Within a year, you get, for example, free cleaning of the teeth. So he was telling me about different ways to invest. I was like, this is a pretty good idea because you can enable this to a lot of solo professionals, right? Like the dentists, the solo entrepreneurs, the service providers. So it allows us to create a new way where you can create a business. I don't like to compare we've driven some comparison to WAP. I don't like directly the comparison, but there are a lot of interesting things that, that they tell you, create a business. You're creating our profile is your business on Trivo, right? So we want you to bring your business on Trivo, on chain, so that you don't have to rely also on the banks. You don't have to rely on the local restrictions. You have crypto. You have an international way to hold money. So we want you to bring this volume on chain.
Yeah, that was my next question. What is the on-chain part of the product? It's more about payments, right?
Payments initially, and then later we want to work on two things, which is the social graph on chain and the decentralized identity. But just going and tackling everything at once it complicates things. Whereas we're moving baby steps, but very bold steps.
Yeah, I see.
On that note, the reason why I believe the loyalty is and how it relates to the blockchain is you get a bunch of businesses and they launch a loyalty system. And now they got hundreds, maybe thousands of customers participating in their rewards and things like that. Well, then you have the basis for what makes sense to launch a token, right? And then so it's a little bit easier to wrap your head around versus just going to business and being like, hey, you can launch a token, right? Well, why do I want to do that? The step from a loyalty point system to a token, right, makes a little bit more sense once you have the community, the people using it, the people redeeming these coupons and things like that. And of course, that opens up more things, which is interoperability, exchange, right? Exchange one token for another company's token, right? And it increases how it can be used, right? So that's later down the line, but it's a cool step towards tokenization for a lot of small business.
And if you allow me, Corey, here to just add one thing, right? Like it gives utility to the tokens created for businesses rather than just creating hype tokens, right? Because if this token basically is a loyalty token that is used to redeem actual value that can be measured in monetary terms, and we can add liquidity via the Trevo token, then the next thing we can transform this entire volume that is in the loyalty system on chain. So then the token that's underlying each of these, the loyalty token of the business, has actual utility, actual value that people are willing to pay for because they unlock access, they unlock offers, they unlock discounts, they unlock real value.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just want to ask one more question, but you can continue, guys. I can ask later.
Oh, no, go ahead, Max. I just have like one quick question though, and just building off quickly, just this loyalty program thing, bring that on chain. Wouldn't that also create some like a third kind of? It would become a tradable asset, right? And would that disrupt the value of the economies of the loyalty program?
Not really. I'll tell you why. Let's take an economic case, right? Let's say this pizza store that is saying, okay, this pizza is $1 instead of $20 if you have, let's say, $10 worth of my tokens, right? So if you are buying these tokens to get access to that offer, and there are a lot more people, for them economically, it makes sense. I can go and buy these tokens to get access to that value, right? Then the price would go up because there is an actual underlying value behind these tokens. Now, would you exchange, excuse the word, your good tokens with the tokens of businesses that provide no value? Probably not, right? So the demand on these tokens, it will be a very open market, right? If you're providing good service, people will get the tokens because they're getting more value out of it. The business is getting direct monetization via the token. He's putting liquidity, his brand becomes more valuable.
What about the reverse of that? Because you said if people buy like $10 and it goes up, what if people buy $20 and it goes down?
If they're buying $20 has no value, it deserves to go into oblivion. It doesn't need to exist. Your loyalty means nothing. Your word means nothing. The service that you are providing is not important. So that's why your token should be down. The more you put value in your points, in your loyalty points, the more value it should be. Why? Because people will understand this loyalty and have demand on it. Compared to you providing horrible value, it's not about making everyone if you're not providing value. You have to provide your value so that you can monetize.
I think I was just thinking of the use case you mentioned of teeth cleaning, for example. Let's say teeth cleaning is worth $10 for easy numbers. So you get $10 worth of the tokens, and then somehow it goes down in value, so you don't have that free cleaning anymore. Or would it work differently?
Well,
and I'm not understanding.
It's not the dollar value. It's not the dollar value. If let's say this dentist decide it's worth 100 or 1,000, right? Let's say at 1 cent, 1,000 of my tokens, even if the value goes down, it's still worth that service. The accessibility of that service is worth 1,000 of the tokens, right?
Okay, I understand now. Max, I think you had another question to follow that up as well.
Yeah, I had like basically the same question, but now I have one more question about legal thing here. Like you said that you're considering UAE. Do you have any problems with legal registration there or something? Because I think it's
We're based out of Dow, Ras Al Khaimah. Regarding tokenization, obviously this is not step one. With our technology, we can go into tokenization today. But the very first step is to go towards loyalty. Loyalty is a less sensitive topic than direct tokenization. We do have the required licenses to deploy in the UAE and our company. But yeah, just when it comes to tokenization, why we wouldn't deploy it today, it's legally challenging. Even forget about the region in UAE, GCC, the Middle East, North Africa. Think about MiCA in Europe. Think about also the United States, right? Because different regulators would look at it differently. Some would look at it as a form of payment. Some would look at it as just utility for a right. So navigating this right now, we're focused on getting good use cases, actual use cases that are sustainable in terms of us providing these tools. And as we scale, obviously, we can tackle the challenges of tokenization worldwide.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. And if you have any more questions, Max, go ahead. So thanks for taking the time and asking those questions and taking the time to answer them. One of my things I wanted to explore here also was you guys are building a lot of like features, and it feels like I guess like almost like Lego for your social media profile or business. But I'm curious, like, why are you're building all of this all in one surface? Is there also going to be the opportunity for people to make their own tools and offer them through Threevo for this like composable kind of structure of the platform, or is it
Worth,
all going to be okay?
worth. I'll tell you a secret. When I mentioned earlier how we moved into AI, so here's how we approach things, how we were able to go in and slash from 23 team members into 6 and get 4x productivity as a company, regardless of that, right? One of the interesting things is we actually taught AI exactly every in and out of the platform, everything from the microservice architecture to how Threevo ID works, everything. We fed it all of the information, the vision, the ideology behind it, the story, the narrative, everything, right? And we were able, by teaching AI and then developing our SDK, so what only a year ago, not even 3 years ago, required at least tens of engineers, tens of developers, with a process that is streamlined, automated, and up to a certain standard when it comes to quality. And all of this happened in less than 90 days. Full, complete transformation where we decided we're going to go full cyberpunk. Let's experiment with this. So the work that we've done over the past 2 years is to build the basis of this ecosystem, the platform, right? The Threevo ID, the back-end architecture, how tokenization works, how PageScore, which is basically the engine of this app customization that happens in your profile. That's what we have been building over the last 2 years. AI allowed us to go in and quickly put in all of these apps that are built on Threevo quickly into first-party applications. Now, we have an SDK. Our APIs are pretty mature. You can take the SDK with the APIs and you can build directly on Threevo and even monetize these. And we also did this so that when we want to go in and approach third-party applications so that the integration is smooth. Think, hopefully in the future for traders, TradingView, you can put in directly your charts, right? And then another app, hopefully also in the future with prediction markets. All of this is modular, very modular. And again, up until 3 months ago, this would have been impossible. Impossible. Like with the current burn rate that we have, it would have been impossible. But because of the advances of AI, and I always tell the guys that, our team, we should pride ourselves that we were ahead of the market. Literally saved us a lot of money, and we became suddenly a super company compared to a lot of people that waited this long. So this, hopefully things work out, but we are very bullish on what we build. Super proud, super bullish, super usable. I like the feedback when you talk to just like average folks who understand nothing about crypto, nothing about AI, and you tell them the value proposition and you show them a little demo, and they'll sign me up. This gives you a lot of pride. Hopefully, we can follow on without delays on our experiments in these two markets. And we want to make a dent in this world and present something refreshing, something new, and something that presents to the crypto folks that it's not all about hype. It's about actual use case utility and most importantly, providing solutions using these Web3 tools, using these AI tools, not just hype, but actual solutions that make
Mhm.
people make more money and save them time.
Yeah,
Just
that's
to
that's
just to
what's
talk
gonna
about a
drive
little
it
bit
off.
of the
Go ahead.
sorry, dude. Just I really that sort of comment about you do have to pivot from an operational sense as a business, and the reality is that your burn rate when you have, like you say, 20 employees is huge. You will run out of runway essentially. So it reminds me of the story that we read last week of Jack Dorsey and his company, and how you do have to pivot to an AI workforce because, like you say, you become a superpower of a super business. And I think that's a really smart move and ahead of the curve, essentially. So that's good thinking on your part.
Thank you, brother. I want to add something that we want to give these tools to the average folk so that the playing field is level, right? So that the average think about a person empowered with AI that knows exactly how to structure everything from his prompts to assumptions to what data he feeds AI compared to a person who doesn't and requires the time to catch up and learn. So how can we level the playing field and make sure that we don't get into this massive discrepancy between people who know and people who don't. We make it easier for those who don't because if they participate, they're going to be generating a lot of economic activity. And it's better for them, better for their communities, for their countries, right? So rather than wasting the time, just like back in the day in crypto, like in crypto, everyone used to assume that the person you're onboarding understands the same language that you do, like in terms of, oh, I understand the crypto, I understand creating the wallet, right? No, they don't. No, they don't. So rather than building as if you're building for other crypto people, build, bro, like you're building for the regular person, the average person, your grandmother, the neighbor next door, right? Your friend that barely knows how to use WhatsApp. These guys you have to build for. And for these guys, you have to build what they already know rather than convincing them to go and learn something they're not going to learn. Yes, there are people who are driven, but the vast majority of people are not. And they're busy with their own lives. You want to ease it for them so that they're not excluded, so that they're including and generating also economic opportunity. We become the layer, we become the ecosystem that is giving you these tools. And all of this has been gotten because we learned from ourselves. Everything from every single app that we have developed started as an experiment, as a tool for Thrivo to build an audience, right? That's why we're super optimistic, and at the same time, we're super pumped that we're gonna bring these into the average people. People like I showed a couple of tools when they're like, "How is this even possible? We thought this is more." I was like, "No, it's this easy. This doesn't cost that much, right?" So we want them to have these tools. We want them to be empowered. We want them to participate. We don't want to be the middleman. We want to be the tool provider, the interface provider, and the underlying infrastructure, right? We have our network fees. We are happy about those, but we don't want to be the middleman.
Makes sense. You brought up a lot about like making this easy for the layman, essentially. One of my questions then is, where do you think most people are misunderstanding what you're building, or what's the most common misunderstanding that even the general public might have?
See, Trivo is something new. It's like somebody tells you, imagine something new. You can go and explain, but if you can't compare it to something that exists today, it will be hard to understand, right? So for some people, it's a good approach to go and tell them this is something that you can, instead of just building a regular profile like you do on social, you can have that profile, but have this business profile where you're putting your value on the line on Thrivo. It replaces your website, it replaces your link in bio, right? It has everything. You can put your links, right? So very kind of easy way to get them on board. Now, if you are talking with people who are advance into crypto, then the conversation becomes more about, listen, here's an infrastructure, here's a tech stack, here's APIs, here's SDKs, and hopefully we have onboarded enough of an audience so that you as also a developer can also contribute in this revolution and expand it. I can say that the very first period of Tribo, from the beginning till maybe a month ago, was primarily on getting the technology up to the point where we can actually deploy it. It's well polished, it works well. Now the focus is how can we take this massive infrastructure and then onboard before going and telling stories to the world and doing what crypto does better with hype and all of that, actually getting it to work with real people in real communities that have a lot of potential. This is where we are right now. We are at the deployment stage outside of experimentation. We've had a lot of experimentation. We've had a lot of users. We had a lot of crypto partners that paid us so that they become part of these experiments. But now we're going to the masses with the full set of tools that are ready, that are polished. And we're taking baby steps, but very bold. So we're going into markets where no one else dared to go. One of them because of geopolitical reasons. But we are willing to go into these countries and be the first with very little competition to provide awesome tools, super accessible and affordable prices, little to no learning curve.
Where currently where it stands, where are you seeing the most friction or rejection from the users that you're onboarding?
Once they go through the demo, there is none because super easy. There is none. The hardest part, and we removed it from this iteration, which is the wallet. A lot of people do not still understand. We need to simplify the wallet. Now, it's a very delicate balance between DeFi and having your keys, your crypto, or right. It's a very delicate balance because we're working on simplifying this. We want you to have your wallet as DeFi, right? If there's one thing, we want you to be independent. Your money is you. Right? Now, yes, we do want to attach it to your ID for multiple reasons. Right? It makes KYC easier, verification easier, it makes transactions more transparent, right? But we want you to control your own wallet, and it's up to you what you share with the world. So the crypto part, we're baby feeding our way in this experiment. Before we used to, from our first users, they are all crypto natives. So for them, it was not a big problem. But to onboard normies, this simplification when it comes to onboarding them to crypto is something that we are heavily focused on, right? As people start to use the product, and then obviously we're going to start feeding them the crypto as the underlying technology. They don't have to understand it, but it's working in the background.
Makes sense. Awesome. Now, I just wanted to open it up again. If anyone in the audience, Max, any more questions, Corey, Ayman, if anyone has anything they want to bring up as well, please go ahead right now.
Yeah, I got one more question about go-to-market strategy. Like, you basically have to find like SMBs who will use your product. And I think it's one of the hardest parts of your job. Do you have any insights, or can you share your plans of SMBs here?
Of course. We were planning to do a pilot in Lebanon this week. Literally, we compiled a list. We contacted the businesses. They gave us also their network. So we have a pretty wide list that covers a significant part of Lebanon. Now, obviously, we wanted to do a pilot and instantly scale via marketing campaigns, partnership with influencers, and most importantly, the first businesses that we are onboarding, they are doing co-marketing with us. And imagine every time you go to a store, well, they're going to be marketing for us because how would you get these loyalty points? You'll have their customer to go in and log into Tribo, right? So it's like self-marketing. It's a self-marketing loop. We onboard more users, businesses. These businesses are onboarding their communities, the brand becomes bigger. Now, we're still committed. Hopefully, things in the Middle East, they go hot too fast, but they extinguish too fast as well. Life goes on. Tomorrow they declare ceasefire. Life goes on like nothing happened. So this is one, and also the next city. And these cities, why we're targeting? Because we have good networks, we have significant connections, even in certain places, advantages over competition, right? Another location that we're targeting is Sharjah in the UAE. Why Sharjah? We are a UAE company. Sharjah, we have a good team there as well that can work with us in business development and onboarding businesses. We care a lot about businesses in this stage. Why businesses? Through volume, real use cases, real problems that we are solving with them by democratizing these tools, and it will help us grow the audience of Trivo. So product is ready. We wanted to experiment in Lebanon. Right now we're doing testing between the teams and select partners. This is all on dev channels. If things go well, hopefully they declare instantly with Lebanon through the list that we have. And obviously they're going to help us. And the very next step is Sharjah, UAE. And then from there, we care a lot about getting the regions, the GCC MENA regions. And then with our community, we can open it up for the world in places where there's no significant legal challenges. Let's put it this way.
Okay. I mentioned that businesses that will work with you, they already have their websites or they already have their Instagram page. Or if it's, I don't know, like an offline business, how do they share the product? How do they share the links to Eva to their customers?
So we're not asking them to change their distribution channels. If your main marketing channel, distribution channel is Instagram, you can have that. Do the same thing. What we are saying is everything that is your store, your space, your community lives in, usually in your website, or you want it to live in your Telegram, there's a lot of tools, right? We want this link in bio that you have, your own personal space where you provide value, or where you sell, or where you do, right? This is where your spot is. If you have already these established distribution channels. So let's say you are marketing on Instagram or on TikTok, go check my link in bio. You will find all of these items. Not just links, you would find offers, you would find quest campaigns, you can find my loyalty points, you can find my AI chatbot, you can find my images. If I wanna put my additional images or video, you can go in the community chat. It's the one stop where you can build exactly the type of profile that you need for everything that you can do on your main distribution channel.
Okay, cool. For example, what's the difference if I have an Instagram page and I can own a store and I can sell directly from Instagram and I can handle conversations with my customers using, for example, ManyChat? What's the difference? Why do I need Evo?
I'll tell you what's the difference. The store is something new on Instagram, but everything else, it's still pretty complicated integrations for a simple person. And there are a lot of limitations what you can do. We are saying, hey, this profile, we provide you with the templates. There are also the SDKs for third-party templates. You can build your ideal profile to provide the value the way that you want it to do. So rather than going into very specific functions, we give you a lot of functions that we have developed. First party, you select exactly what fits your niche. And all of these different functions, we call them apps, Trivo apps. They're designed so that they can achieve a certain objective for a very specific niche. Some of them are mutual, and some of them are very hyper-specific.
Yeah, could you please share more details about Evo apps?
Sure.
Is it like, yeah, okay.
The easiest way to think about, have you ever used something like a WordPress?
Long ago, I think.
Long time ago, right? WordPress, you had something like called extensions. extensions. Or today in Wix, you have ready-made modules. What we did is basically created this one engine with an SDK where you can build on top, where you build a tab, and that tab has a very unique function. It can be a tab for a function like a community chat. It's an app by itself, right, as a tab. Or it can be something like an AI chatbot, where inside of this tab, it's a different interface, it's a different function. You as a business, you select from these apps exactly the app that the usability that you want, right, from this app. So you want the chat, you want the capability of your customers having a conversation with your AI co-founder that knows that can replace the entry level customer service or your salesperson, like instantly. If you're asking a question about sales, can instantly flip on and become a salesperson, or if he's asking about a certain item, can also provide the information, or if you're asking for a return or something regarding scheduling, it would also. It understands all of the context, it understands how business works, and basically can do that for you. Now, not everyone would want that, right? Some people, they don't see that as value. Some others would see. You select exactly what you need. So you might want to focus more on the fundraising, create a wish list. Think about all of these different Instagram celebrities that fundraise for personal stuff all the way through causes. Here's a wish list. You can go in, as a user, you have your wallet connected, you can instantly contribute, and this person can go and monetize towards his cause. Or he might want to have a tab that similar to loyalty, right? Where it has a very specific function, democratizing loyalty programs, right? A one app that lives in the profile, and all of these different apps can talk to each other. These are different microservices that talk to each other, that share mutual databases, right? And it's all fed to AI so that we can build this super algorithm. Very smart, has all the data from all of these different functionalities, different aspects of the market, and it's all feeding this one AI memory.
Yeah, cool. Sales assistants sound interesting. What if, for example, I already have a shop on, for example, like Shopify? Will it have an
Integrated.
integration with Shopify?
Yeah, integrated. This is phase two,
Okay.
right after we're with Lawyer, because when we talk to businesses, a lot of them were telling us we want people to convert into the offers directly by instantly ordering from the website. And that's where the Shopify integration came in as a demand. So rather than building a separate shop on Trivo, instantly you can integrate your Shopify store.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, guys, I just want to now open up the floor for Threevo and Corey. Maybe you guys could give us just a quick brief and share what you guys are experimenting with. Maybe you want some feedback. Where can the people find you? Give us a quick overview.
Corey, you want to go, bro?
Yeah, if you're in Lebanon or UAE, you'll be able to find us soon in your local stores. We are, let's see, the app is almost live. You'll be able to go create profiles, business profiles, user profiles. Again, right now our focus is going to be on the loyalty system, which is local, but we do have quests as well. If you want to join and participate, you're more welcome to do that. I do believe that will be live soon. But right now, we're really focused on our pilot launch. So if you're in the area, certainly reach out. You can go to our website. You can fill out a request form right now. It's threevo.me, and we can get you plugged in. Of course, we are on X, Instagram as well, and all of our socials. So you can find them on the website as well. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can also shoot me a DM, or Raluca, our community manager, is here. She's amazing. Or you can shoot it to the main account. If you have any questions or concerns or want to get plugged in, just let us know.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And normally I like to close off with a bit of a slightly unrelated question or push the boundaries. And so imagine you were writing a private diary entry 1 year from now. what's one thing you're most unsure about today that you hope you got right?
I hope we selected the right strategy. It's not like we're unsure. We know our audience. We've done a good job. Obviously, just being around this region and being in our industry, there's a lot of uncertainty. And now the upside from this, we are extremely bullish. Like we religiously believe in what we have been building, and only because of this kind of drive that the team has, and we were able to survive through a lot. This is the second year of Trivo. We built something that a lot of people have betted that we're not going to be able to do, and we did. We did. And we got lucky. Obviously, we're ahead of the technology or ahead of the curve in adopting technology. But we're very bullish. We're very bullish just because of how powerful, how flexible, and it's built by builders. It's built with the builders who have been also users. A lot of ideas, a lot of iterations. We iterate very fast. Like it's not even believable how fast we iterate. And personally, I like what one of our good friends and investors was saying. It's better not to bet against us. This is a very elite team, multicultural, global. We all met online about the passion to the products that we have built. Became like one family. Everyone is a superhero in their field. And all of these guys are masters of multiple trades or jack of multiple trades, and at least a master of one or two. Like wild team, super talented. I've been around a lot of teams in my life, but this has been the most unique and driven team and obviously for a vision like this, you would need partners that have the same kind of drive and passion and love for what they do. Every day we go to work and we're happy with what we do. And we want everything that we have learned during the journey of building Trivo, everything that we have built for ourselves, to share it with others and make an impact. That's our goal. Thank you guys for having us. A real amazing conversation with you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for the questions. It always helps getting feedback and how people helps us refine how we communicate, and we really do appreciate that. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. It was cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming. That was great. I've just signed up for the waitlist as well. I encourage everybody to do the same. Really eager and looking forward to see what's coming, what you guys have got building in the future.
Awesome. Really
Awesome. Thank
appreciate
you.
everyone. Just going to
Thanks,
do a
guys.
quick little plug. Next Thursday, catch us with Pentagon Games. We're going to go over AI and the future of gaming. So look forward to catching you guys there. Thanks again, everyone, for coming on. Really appreciate everyone here. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.